Right now, I'm here in Oberstdorf, and I'm just allowing myself to be nourished by the nature here. It's actually a power spot here in Germany, and my German relatives live here, and they have a guest house right here in the Alps. And for the last 10 years of my life, I've come here throughout the years to visit when I'm living in Germany. And right now it feels really, really good to be here. I just wanted to share the beauty and the nourishment of this nature here in the mountains in the Allgäu with you today. This is the river. It's bright. It's incredible how there's so many different places on this earth with such different energy fields, and when we're in a city, or when we're in the mountains in the Alps, or when we're in a town, every single place has its own energetic frequency and vibrational resonance and codes. And I feel like when I put myself into nature and into the Alps and into these really pristine fields of clarity and light and beauty, there's such an activation that happens within myself and such a deep nourishment. It's almost like the resonance field and the coherence here is so strong that it amplifies my own being. And I really want to live like this. It's really important for me to live in alignment with my true nature and not to fit myself into a box of being in a place that is a distortion or doesn't truly match the essence of who I am. And sometimes it can be good to go into places that are different, to just have the contrast and to strengthen us in different ways. And then there's other times in our life and our journey when we're called to listen to the wisdom within ourselves and to align ourselves with where we're meant to live and how we're meant to live and in what kind of energy field and frequency. In this moment, I feel very clear, very true, very pure. I feel a lot of fire inside of my belly. I feel like a fire that's burning inside of me. It's in a very soft and gentle way. It's not like a bonfire right now, but it's more of like a fire that burns through everything that is within me and without. I feel a very strong passion to live my life and to live true to who I am, and to not compromise and to not dilute my essence in any way. The last few months in Canada were not easy for me, and it was very trying and very challenging, extremely tumultuous and turbulent. And this is part of life, to embrace the spectrums of life. And it's almost like I had the experience of the beauty of life, and now I also see the ugliness of life. And for me, it's also so deeply, incredibly amazing that within life there exists so many different polarities, and there's such different realities that are existing within this whole sphere of life. Beauty and ugliness. So much beauty and so much ugliness. And to see both and to acknowledge both. And I know what I feel inside of my being. I know what is my truth, that I know what I feel to be alive within my core, the deepest core of my being. And then not always see that reflected in the outside can be very painful sometimes. Because we know the possibility of what is meant to exist on this earth, and we know the potential of what is possible. And then sometimes there's like a ripening, and there's a cultivation, and there's a sense of things that have to percolate and permeate in order to come into being and to come into fruition. What's alive within you today? What do you feel that is burning within yourself, that wants to be released and wants to be expressed? How is life sculpting you to come even more into your true being? What does the wisdom of your soul guide you? And how would it lead you now in this point in your life? Beautifully human and beautifully divine at the same time. Beautifully human and beautifully divine at the same time. And it's very important to remember our divinity, because even though we are human, we are divine, and to remember the sparkling, glorious God essence that's within all of us. And it's very easy to forget that on this earth. It's very easy to forget our divinity and to forget our origin and where we come from. And it's very important to remember that, because when we connect to Source and we connect to God and we connect to the light and we connect to the essence of creation from which we come from, there is a power and a clarity and a guidance that comes from being rooted in truth and being rooted in the vastness of existence of that one, the one that we are one with. And when we forget our divinity and we forget the origin from which we are sparked off from, we fall into the humanness and the traps and the density and the contractions, and we can lose ourselves in that and forget our wings and forget the light and forget the origin of creation in which we come from. I feel like an old woman right now when I speak. I feel like a really old grandmother. Very, very old inside. I'm gonna drink some of this mountain water and then continue on my hike today here in the mountains. And I just wanted to send you this message and send you some love today from my broken open heart, from my deeply broken open heart, with fragility and with delicacy and softness and gentleness, which is also the medicine that this world needs. Much more delicacy, much more refinement, softness and tenderness. I love you.